The rhythmic hum of mining equipment filled the cramped control room of the Stellar Pioneer, humanity's first deep space mining vessel. Through the reinforced viewport, the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter stretched endlessly, a sea of untapped resources waiting to be claimed. Lieutenant Sarah Chen adjusted her holographic displays, monitoring the drilling progress on Asteroid MT-274. Pressure readings are unusual in Section 7, she reported, her fingers dancing across the translucent interface. Captain Rodriguez leaned forward, his weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of the screens. 20 years of earthbound mining experience hadn't prepared him for the mysteries of space, but that's why he loved this job. "Define unusual, Lieutenant," he said, zooming in on the section in question. The three-dimensional mapping showed something reflecting their sensors differently from the surrounding rock. "It's more dense than anything we've encountered, sir." And Sarah paused, double-checking her readings. "It's perfectly spherical." The captain's eyes narrowed. In his experience, perfect spheres didn't occur naturally, especially not buried 3 kilometers deep in an asteroid. "Halt drilling operations in that sector. Redirect to manual extraction. I want eyes on whatever this is." The next 6 hours passed in tense anticipation. The mining team worked with delicate precision, carefully removing layers of rock around the anomaly. When they finally reached it, the discovery left the entire crew speechless. Embedded in the ancient rock was a metallic sphere roughly 2 meters in diameter, its surface covered in intricate patterns that seemed to shift and change as they watched. "Definitely not natural," Sarah whispered, her hand hovering near the sphere's surface. The patterns emitted a faint, pulsing light that synchronized with her proximity. "It's responding to us." Captain Rodriguez immediately initiated first contact protocols, establishing a quarantine zone around the artifact and notifying Earth Command. But before the transmission could reach Earth, the sphere's patterns brightened intensely. "Energy spike," Sarah called out, her instruments going haywire. "It's activating something." The sphere's surface transformed into what appeared to be a star map, projecting countless points of light into the control room. At its center, a single point pulsed with particular intensity. Sarah's instruments confirmed what they all suspected. It was Earth's location. "It's a beacon," the captain realized, his voice barely above a whisper. "We just turned it on." The response came faster than anyone could have predicted. Within hours, the ship's long-range sensors detected massive energy signatures approaching from multiple vectors. The readings were off the charts, suggesting technology far beyond human capabilities. The crew watched in awe as the first ships appeared, emerging from what looked like tears in space itself. Their vessels defied conventional design, appearing as massive crystalline structures that caught and reflected starlight in mesmerizing patterns. Each ship was easily the size of Earth's largest cities. Earth's combined military forces mobilized within minutes of detecting the approaching fleet, but Captain Rodriguez knew it wouldn't matter. Any civilization capable of such travel could likely swat aside humanity's defenses without effort. The largest of the crystal ships positioned itself near the Stellar Pioneer, dwarfing the human vessel. A transmission cut through all frequencies, translating itself into every human language simultaneously. "Greetings, children of Earth," the message began, its tone neither threatening nor particularly welcoming. "We are the Meridian, guardians of the Beacon Network. Your species has discovered one of our ancient markers, proving you have achieved the first milestone of spacefaring civilization." The message paused, and the crystal ship shifted, revealing an opening that pulsed with soft light. "We extend an invitation to join the Galactic Alliance, but such membership must be earned. Your trials begin now. Should you succeed, the knowledge and resources of 1,000 worlds will be yours to share. Should you fail, the message didn't need to finish the implied threat. Captain Rodriguez looked at his crew, seeing in their eyes the same mix of fear and determination he felt. Humanity's greatest test had arrived, and their performance would determine Earth's fate among the stars. "Send word to Earth Command," he ordered, straightening his uniform. Tell them we accept the challenge. Maya Rodriguez stood before the crystalline council chamber, her heart pounding beneath her standard-issue engineer's uniform. The Meridian's massive space station orbited Jupiter, its transparent walls offering a breathtaking view of the gas giant's swirling storms. She tried not to fidget as 7 towering figures studied her with their luminescent eyes. Your solution to the power distribution problem. The lead arbiter's voice resonated in her mind. It defies conventional thinking. Maya glanced at the holographic display showing her improvised design. She had used basic Earth technology to solve what the Meridian considered an advanced engineering challenge. The trial had seemed impossible at first. Power a shield grid protecting a small moon using only locally available resources. On Earth, we have similar problems with our power grids, she explained, gesturing to her design. When hurricanes damage our infrastructure, we sometimes use temporary solutions. I just adapted our emergency response protocols for space application. The council members exchanged glances, their crystalline forms catching Jupiter's light in mesmerizing patterns. But you used gravitational potential energy from space debris, another council member observed. No other species has considered using stellar waste as a power source. Maya smiled despite her nervousness. Where we see problems, we look for opportunities. That debris field wasn't just a hazard, it was a resource waiting to be utilized. The lead arbiter rose, towering nearly 4 meters tall. In 10,000 years of conducting these trials, we have seen species apply extraordinary technology to solve our challenges. Yet your people consistently find simple solutions using basic principles we had forgotten. The holographic display shifted, showing recordings of other human teams tackling different trials. Each video demonstrated similar ingenuity. A marine biologist applying deep-sea pressure principles to spacecraft design, a farmer revolutionizing asteroid soil cultivation, a firefighter creating new emergency protocols for space stations. This pattern intrigues us, the lead arbiter continued. Your species lacks our technological advancement, yet you see possibilities we miss. Tell us, Maya Rodriguez, why do humans approach problems differently? Maya considered her answer carefully. Earth's future might depend on helping these advanced beings understand humanity's perspective. We're young, she said finally. We haven't learned to dismiss ideas as impossible yet. Every human child asks why about 1,000 times a day. We never really stop asking. A ripple of what might have been amusement passed through the council chamber. Your species questions everything, one member noted. Even now, you're wondering about our true intentions behind these trials. Can you blame us? Maya asked, then quickly added, with respect, of course. No, the lead arbiter's response carried a hint of approval. That questioning nature serves you well. Your trial solutions prove this. The massive being descended from the council platform, approaching Maya. We have decided to accelerate the testing program. Your species has shown sufficient potential to warrant more significant challenges. The chamber's atmosphere tensed. Maya felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her. What kind of challenges? The holographic display transformed, showing a massive wave of darkness moving through space, consuming everything in its path. We face a threat that our technology alone cannot defeat. Perhaps. The lead arbiter paused meaningfully. What we need is a fresh perspective. Maya stared at the visualization, her mind already racing with possibilities. The council watched her intently, and she realized this too was part of the test. Not just her response, but how quickly her human mind began seeking solutions. I'll need to consult with my team, she said firmly. And we'll have questions. A lot of them. We expect nothing less, the lead arbiter replied. You have 24 Earth hours to assemble your team. The real trial begins tomorrow. As Maya left the chamber, she heard the council members discussing among themselves. One phrase echoed in her mind. Perhaps humanity's greatest strength is not knowing what they cannot do. She smiled. They had no idea how right they were. The observation deck of the Meridian space station buzzed with activity as Maya's international team huddled around their makeshift command center. Holographic displays showed a disabled spacecraft tumbling through an asteroid field, its systems completely dead. This rescue scenario had stumped 3 other species before them. Traditional rescue pods can't reach it in time, Dr. Sarah Chen said, her fingers tracing the craft's chaotic trajectory. The radiation from that nearby pulsar is too intense for standard shields. Maya studied the scenario, her mind racing back to her days as a coastal engineer. You know what this reminds me of? Hurricane rescue operations. Lieutenant James Wong looked up from his calculations. Hurricanes? In space. Think about it, Maya gestured to the hologram. When we rescue people from storms, we can't always reach them directly. Sometimes we have to ride the currents. Understanding dawned on the team's faces. Their experience with Earth's challenges had prepared them for this moment in ways none could have predicted. The asteroid field, James said, catching Maya's train of thought. We could use its gravitational patterns like ocean currents. Sarah's hands flew across her console, running simulations. If we time it right, we could slingshot between the asteroids using minimal power. The rocks themselves would shield us from the radiation. The Meridian observers watched silently as the humans worked, their crystalline forms reflecting the hologram's light. The team's excitement grew as their plan took shape, building on centuries of Earth's maritime rescue experience. We'll need to modify a rescue pod, Maya announced, pulling up design specifications. Strip it down to basics, add gravitational sensors from deep-sea pressure gauges. Lieutenant Wong, remember those wave-riding drones we used in the Pacific? James nodded enthusiastically. Already on it. I can adapt their navigation systems for space. The principles are similar, just need to account for 3-dimensional movement instead of 2. The team worked through the night Earth time. They transformed a standard space rescue pod into something entirely new. Where other species had tried to overpower the challenges with advanced technology, the humans chose to work with the natural forces around them. Ready for launch, Sarah announced 22 hours into their allocated 24-hour window. The modified pod looked deceptively simple, its design inspired by Earth's most successful ocean rescue vessels. Maya took the pilot's seat, her hands fitting perfectly into the familiar controls. Mission Control, this is Rescue 1, requesting launch clearance. The Meridian observers finally spoke, their harmonious voices carrying a note of curiosity. Launching unproven technology in such conditions seems risky. Sometimes the riskiest move is taking no risk at all, Maya replied, initiating launch sequences. On Earth, every successful rescue mission started with someone willing to brave the storm. The pod launched smoothly, immediately caught in the asteroid field's gravitational dance. Maya guided it expertly, using the same instincts that had once helped her navigate hurricane-whipped seas. The craft swooped and glided between massive rocks, each movement precisely calculated yet appearing almost graceful. Like surfing the big waves, she whispered, remembering her childhood in coastal Brazil. The pod's innovative sensors, adapted from deep-sea technology, painted a clear picture of the gravitational currents surrounding them. When they reached the disabled spacecraft, their Earth-inspired modifications proved their worth. The rescue took less than 30 minutes, completed with minimal power consumption and 0 casualties. Back at the station, the Meridian Council gathered to review their success. The lead observer's voice carried an unexpected tone, something close to wonder. You transformed a spatial rescue operation by applying principles from your oceans, they noted. No other species has made such connections. Maya stood with her team, pride evident in their stance. Earth's challenges taught us to adapt, to see patterns across different environments. Space may be a new frontier, but the physics of survival remain familiar. The council exchanged meaningful glances. Perhaps, the lead observer concluded, it is time to show you why these trials are so urgent. Your perspective may be exactly what we need for the greater challenge ahead. The massive holographic chamber darkened as the Meridian Council revealed the true nature of their trials. Maya and her team stood transfixed as a three-dimensional map of the galaxy materialized around them, stars twinkling like diamonds in the void. What you're about to see has been classified at the highest levels. The lead observer's voice resonated through the chamber. A wave of darkness appeared at the galaxy's edge, consuming stars as it advanced. This is no simulation. Sarah stepped forward, her scientific training taking over. That's impossible. Dark matter doesn't behave this way naturally. Correct. Another council member confirmed. This wave is artificial, created by an ancient species we thought long extinct. It has already consumed 3 solar systems. The team watched in horror as the visualization showed the wave's projected path. Earth lay directly in its course, along with dozens of other inhabited systems. Every species we've tested has tried to stop it, the lead observer continued. The Centaurians attempted to redirect it with quantum fields. The Proxima Collective tried to disperse it with antimatter cascades. All failed. Maya studied the wave's movement pattern, her mind already racing with possibilities. How long do we have? At current velocity, the wave will reach Earth's solar system in approximately 3 standard years. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had barely mastered interplanetary travel, and now they faced an extinction-level threat that even advanced civilizations couldn't stop. Lieutenant Wong broke the silence. Show us the wave's reaction to previous containment attempts. The hologram shifted, displaying various sophisticated defense systems failing against the dark matter wave. Each attempt, no matter how advanced, seemed to make the wave stronger. It adapts, Maya muttered, watching the patterns. Like a living thing. She turned to Sarah. Remember what you said about Earth's magnetic field during solar storms? Sarah's eyes widened. The way it flexes and recovers? You think. Exactly. Maya addressed the council. We need access to all your data on Earth's magnetic field interactions with solar phenomena, and everything you have on dark matter wave mechanics. The council members exchanged glances. You believe Earth's primitive magnetic field could succeed where advanced shield technology failed. Not alone, Maya explained, her excitement building. But it might show us a new approach. On Earth, we learned that sometimes the gentlest touch works better than the strongest push. The team spread out around the hologram, each member approaching the problem from their unique perspective. Sarah analyzed the wave's quantum properties, while James mapped its movement patterns against known space phenomena. Look at this, Sarah called out, highlighting a section of data. The wave's strength increases proportionally to the resistance it encounters. The harder we fight it, the stronger it gets, Maya finished. We're not dealing with a weapon. We're dealing with a response system. The Meridian Council watched intently as the humans worked, their crystalline forms reflecting the hologram's shifting light. They had seen countless species approach this challenge with their most advanced technology. None had thought to examine it from such a fundamental perspective. We'll need to modify Earth's existing magnetic field, Maya announced, pulling up planetary defense schematics. Not to stop the wave, but to work with it. Guide it. Like redirecting ocean currents instead of trying to dam them. Impossible, one council member stated. Your technology is too primitive. Maya smiled. Maybe that's our advantage. Sometimes the simplest solution is the one nobody expects. She turned to her team. We need to start tests immediately. Small scale at first, then scaling up as we prove the concept. The lead observer stepped forward, towering over the humans. You understand the stakes. If you fail, Earth will be the first inhabited world in the wave's path. There will be no second chance. We understand, Maya replied, her voice firm. But Earth has faced extinction-level threats before. Each time, we survived not because we were the strongest, but because we found a way to adapt. The council chamber hummed with energy as the Meridian initiated emergency protocols. Humanity's greatest test had begun, and their unconventional approach might be the galaxy's last hope. Jupiter's magnetic field shimmered as the test probe approached. Maya watched from the observation deck of the Meridian station, her hands clasped tightly behind her back. This was their 15th attempt at manipulating dark matter using planetary magnetic fields, and their time was running out. Initiating test sequence, Sarah announced, her voice steady despite the exhaustion evident on her face. The probe released a controlled stream of artificial dark matter, similar to what they'd face when the real wave arrived. Lieutenant Wong monitored the readings. Field strength holding at 80%. Wave approaching contact point. The assembled Meridian Council watched silently as the dark matter stream met Jupiter's modified magnetic field. Previous tests had ended in failure, with the dark matter either pushing through or growing stronger upon contact. But this time was different. "Look!" Sarah exclaimed, pointing to the holographic display. The dark matter stream wasn't fighting against the magnetic field. Instead, it was following it, curving along the magnetic lines like water following a channel. Maya leaned forward, her heart racing. Adjust field modulation to pattern theta 7. The magnetic field shifted subtly, creating a complex web of overlapping lines. The dark matter stream responded immediately, spreading out and then reconcentrating, exactly as they predicted. "It's working," Maya breathed. "It's actually working." She turned to the nearest console, fingers flying across the holographic interface. "Sarah, check the quantum coherence readings." Sarah's eyes widened as she studied the data. The dark matter isn't just following the field, it's synchronizing with it. Like waves combining in the ocean, Maya finished. Years of studying Earth's tides and currents had taught them that sometimes the most powerful forces could be guided rather than blocked. The lead observer stepped forward, their crystalline form catching the light from Jupiter. "Explain what we're seeing." Maya gestured to the display. "We stopped thinking of the dark matter wave as an enemy to be fought. Instead, we're treating it like a natural force that can be redirected. The magnetic field isn't pushing against it, it's dancing with it." "Dancing?" Another council member questioned. "It's a human term for moving in harmony," Sarah explained. "We discovered that dark matter responds to magnetic fields the same way ocean currents respond to temperature gradients. By creating the right patterns, we can guide it wherever we want." Lieutenant Wong pulled out a larger simulation. "If we scale this up to Earth's entire magnetic field, we could theoretically redirect the entire wave, not by fighting it, but by showing it a path of least resistance." The Meridian Council conferred among themselves, their thoughts passing in crystalline whispers. Finally, the lead observer turned back to the human team. "In all our centuries of defending against this threat, no species has attempted such an approach. They all sought to overcome the wave with superior force." Maya smiled. "Sometimes the smallest stream can change the course of the mightiest river. We learned that lesson on Earth long ago." "But the energy requirements," another council member interjected. "Even with our technology, modifying a planet's entire magnetic field would require." "We've thought of that too," Sarah cut in, pulling up another set of calculations. "We're not trying to power the whole thing artificially. Instead, we'll use Earth's existing field as a foundation and enhance it strategically at key points, like adding rocks to a river to change its flow." The demonstration continued as the team showed how their solution could be implemented on a planetary scale. They had merged ancient human wisdom about working with nature rather than against it with cutting-edge cosmic science. "Time to full implementation?" the lead observer asked. 6 months, Maya replied confidently. "We'll need help from the Meridian to manufacture the field generators, but the basic technology is already proven. Earth's survival doesn't depend on building the strongest shield. It depends on building the smartest one." As the council members filed out to begin preparations, Maya caught her reflection in the station's crystal walls. In it, she saw not just herself, but generations of human innovators who had learned to survive by understanding rather than dominating the forces around them. The dark matter wave was still coming, but now they had a chance. Not because they were the strongest civilization, but because they were willing to see solutions where others saw only obstacles. The transformed surface of Earth's moon glittered with thousands of magnetic field generators their crystalline structures catching sunlight like diamonds scattered across the lunar surface. Maya stood in the Lunar Command Center, watching as teams from 20 different alien civilizations worked alongside human engineers to complete the planetary defense system. The Centaurians have adapted their quantum processors to our specifications, Sarah reported, reviewing the latest progress updates. They say it's the first time they've simplified their technology instead of advancing it. Maya nodded, studying the holographic display showing Earth's enhanced magnetic field. The familiar blue sphere of their home planet now pulsed with intricate patterns of electromagnetic energy, visible even from the moon's surface. The Proxima Collective is requesting permission to study our ocean current modeling systems, Lieutenant Wang added, looking up from his communication panel. They believe our understanding of fluid dynamics might help them with their own planetary defenses. Share everything, Maya replied, making a minor adjustment to the field harmonics. The more civilizations that adopt this approach, the better chance we all have of survival. The lunar facility had become an unlikely gathering point for the galaxy's greatest minds. Species that had once dismissed Earth as primitive now sent their best scientists to learn from human ingenuity. The observation deck regularly hosted beings of all forms, from crystalline meridians to energy-based Centaurians, all studying Earth's natural defenses with newfound respect. Field synchronization test starting in 5 minutes, Sarah announced over the facility-wide communication system. The announcement echoed in multiple alien languages, a reminder of how far humanity had come in just 6 months. Maya walked to the main control room, where a team of human and alien operators prepared for the test. The wall-sized viewing screen showed Earth suspended in space, its magnetic field now visible as a shimmering aurora that encompassed the entire planet. Remember, she addressed the gathered operators, we're not trying to create an impenetrable barrier. The field needs to flow to adapt, like water finding its path downstream. The Meridian lead observer, who had become a regular presence at these tests, stepped forward. Your species continues to surprise us. You've turned our most advanced technology into something that mirrors your planet's natural processes. That's the point, Maya explained, watching as the test preparations continued. Earth taught us everything we needed to know. We just had to learn to listen. The test began with a small-scale dark matter stream created under controlled conditions. The assembled scientists watched in appreciation as Earth's enhanced magnetic field responded exactly as designed, gentle yet inexorable, in its guidance of the potentially destructive force. Look at the field harmonics, Sarah pointed out to a group of Centaurian scientists. They're almost exactly like the patterns we observed in the Pacific Ocean's deep currents. Nature solved this problem long before we did. The test results sparked a flurry of activity across the facility. Species that had spent millennia developing ever more complex solutions began studying Earth's simpler systems with newfound interest. The Proxima Collective started incorporating river flow patterns into their shield designs, while the Centaurians explored applications of tidal forces to their quantum matrices. We've received requests from 37 civilizations for our complete database of Earth's natural phenomena, Lieutenant Wang reported. They're particularly interested in how we adapted weather pattern analysis to cosmic events. Maya walked to the observation window, looking out at the generator-covered lunar surface. Each crystalline structure represented a perfect fusion of alien technology and Earth-inspired design. The sight filled her with both pride and humility. 2 weeks until the wave enters the outer solar system, Sarah reminded her softly. Maya nodded, her expression determined. 2 weeks to perfect what nature spent billions of years developing. But we have one advantage the Earth didn't have when it was forming its defenses. What's that? We understand why they work, Maya replied, turning back to the control room. And now so is the rest of the galaxy. The lunar facility hummed with activity as the final preparations continued, humanity's simple solutions spreading across the stars like ripples in a cosmic ocean. The dark matter wave appeared first as a shadow against the stars, consuming light itself as it approached the outer edges of the solar system. From Earth's lunar command center, the assembled representatives of 100 worlds watched in tense silence as humanity's defense system faced its ultimate test. Wave entering Neptune's orbit, Sarah announced, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. The massive view screens showed the planet's magnetic field engaging with the approaching darkness. First contact in 3 minutes. Maya studied the holographic displays, checking and rechecking the intricate network of magnetic fields they had woven throughout the solar system. Each planet's natural magnetosphere had been enhanced and synchronized, creating a complex web of electromagnetic guidance systems. All field generators functioning at optimal levels, Lieutenant Wang reported from his station. Earth's core resonance is stable and synchronized with the lunar array. The Meridian lead observer stood nearby, their crystalline form reflecting the emergency lights that pulsed throughout the command center. 3 civilizations tried to stop the wave at Neptune's orbit. All failed. "We're not trying to stop it," Maya reminded them, adjusting the field harmonics. "We're going to dance with it." The wave hit Neptune's magnetic field. Everyone held their breath, waiting for the destructive force they had seen consume other systems. Instead, the wave seemed to hesitate, its edges rippling like water encountering a new current. "Field integrity holding," Sarah called out. Wave patterns responding to magnetic guidance, just like in the simulations. The dark matter began to flow along Neptune's magnetic field lines, exactly as they had planned. Like a river encountering a carefully placed series of channels, the destructive force started following the path they had prepared. "Uranus magnetic field engaging," Lieutenant Wang announced. "Synchronizing with Neptune's patterns," confirmed. "Wave following the designated course." Maya allowed herself a small smile. Months of preparation, years of studying Earth's natural flows and patterns were paying off. The wave that had destroyed so many advanced civilizations was being guided by principles as old as Earth itself. "Saturn's rings are causing some interference with the field harmonics," Sarah reported suddenly. "The wave pattern is becoming unstable." Maya's fingers flew across her control panel, compensating with the asteroid belt generators. "Think of it like dealing with cross currents." She turned to the alien observers. "We need more power to the ring sector generators." The response was immediate. Ships from a dozen species moved into position, adding their energy to the defensive network. The wave shuddered, then resumed its guided path through the solar system. "Jupiter coming online," Lieutenant Wang called out. "Magnetic field at full strength. Wave approaching in 30 seconds." The giant planet would be your most crucial test. Its massive magnetosphere was key to their entire defense strategy. If it failed, Earth would have minutes at most to prepare for extinction. The wave hit Jupiter's magnetic field like a tsunami meeting a carefully designed breakwater. For a moment, the dark matter seemed to bunch up, its destructive force concentrating in a way they had never seen before. "Field structure holding," Sarah reported, though her voice held a note of concern. "But the wave, it's changing." Maya stared at the readings, her mind racing. The wave wasn't fighting their defenses, but it wasn't exactly following them either. It was doing something entirely new. "Energy patterns shifting across all spectrums," Lieutenant Wang announced. "The wave is resonating with our field network." The lead observer stepped forward, their crystalline form vibrating with what might have been excitement. "It's not just following the path you created, it's adapting to it, becoming something new." Maya watched as the transformed wave continued its journey through their defensive network, now approaching Mars' orbit. They had succeeded in protecting their solar system, but they had also discovered something entirely unexpected. The wave wasn't just a weapon to be redirected, it was trying to communicate. "Prepare for final approach," she ordered, her eyes fixed on the bright blue marble of Earth ahead. "Whatever happens next, we face it together." The command center hummed with activity as humanity prepared to guide the mysterious force past their homeworld, knowing that the next few hours would determine not just their fate, but perhaps the nature of the wave itself. Earth's enhanced magnetic field shimmered like a living aurora as the transformed dark matter wave made its final approach. In the Lunar Command Center, Maya and her team watched with a mixture of anticipation and wonder as their months of preparation faced its ultimate moment. Wave entering Earth's outer magnetic boundary, Sarah reported, her voice carrying across the hushed command center. Energy patterns still stable, but continuing to evolve. The massive view screen showed their home planet wrapped in layers of electromagnetic protection, each field pulsing in harmony with the others. The wave, no longer the destructive force that had consumed other systems, moved with an almost deliberate grace. Something's different, Lieutenant Wang observed, studying the readings. The wave's quantum signature, it's synchronizing with our field frequency. Maya leaned forward, her eyes fixed on the holographic displays. The wave wasn't just following their magnetic pathways anymore. It was interacting with them, creating new patterns they had never seen before. The lead observer's crystalline form resonated with unusual intensity. In all our records, no civilization has ever achieved this level of interaction with the wave. You haven't simply redirected it. You've awakened it. Suddenly, the wave's behavior changed dramatically. Instead of passing by Earth as designed, it began to form complex geometric patterns within the magnetic field network. The patterns pulsed with a rhythmic energy that seemed almost conscious. "It's trying to communicate," Sarah whispered, watching as the wave's energy formed what looked like mathematical sequences in the field harmonics. The magnetic fields aren't just guiding it, they're giving it a voice. Maya quickly adjusted their sensors to better analyze the patterns. These sequences, they're not random. They're similar to the patterns we found in the original beacon that brought the Meridian to Earth. The command center erupted with activity as scientists from dozens of species worked to decode the wave's message. The Meridian Council members gathered around the main display, their crystalline bodies vibrating in harmonic resonance with the wave's pulses. "We've been wrong all this time," the lead observer declared. The wave wasn't a weapon, it was a test to find a civilization capable of understanding rather than destroying. Lieutenant Wang's console lit up with new data. The wave is stabilizing into a permanent orbital pattern around Earth. It's becoming part of our magnetic field. Maya watched in amazement as the dark matter integrated itself into Earth's natural defenses, strengthening and enhancing them in ways their technology could never achieve. The destructive force that had threatened their existence was transforming into something entirely new. "Energy output increasing exponentially," Sarah called out. "But it's not destructive. The wave is feeding our magnetic field, making it stronger." The lead observer turned to Maya, their crystalline form glowing with an inner light. "Your species succeeded where others failed because you chose to understand rather than conquer." The wave wasn't seeking submission through force, it was seeking partnership through comprehension. As if in response to these words, the wave pulsed once more, sending out a signal that reached far beyond their solar system. The message was clear. Earth was not just safe, it had become a beacon for a new kind of interstellar cooperation. Maya smiled as she watched the transformed wave settling into its new role as Earth's guardian. "We didn't just save our planet," she said softly. "We discovered something that will change the galaxy forever." The command center slowly filled with representatives from every species present, all watching in wonder as the once feared dark matter wave became a bridge between civilizations. The human approach, seeking to understand and work with natural forces rather than dominate them, had opened a door no one knew existed. "What happens now?" Lieutenant Wang asked, looking out at the shimmering field that now protected their world. "Now," Maya replied, watching as the wave's energy patterns danced across Earth's magnetic field, "we learned from each other. The galaxy just got a lot more interesting." The sun rose over Earth's horizon, its light playing through the new patterns in the planet's enhanced field. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge, not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through their unique ability to see solutions where others saw only threats. In doing so, They had transformed not just their own future, but the future of every species in the galaxy.